Okay, what else do we have on the docket for crafts? We can do one of these rings. These rings are super easy to do. Tier 1, tier 1. I mean, it's on a minion ring base, so it's not good, but I mean, this one's probably better to pay like a div for this. I missed the helmet craft with int plus percentage int. No, not yet. I'll do that. That actually might be the next one I do. Okay, cool. And then all we have to do here is Wild Bristle Matron it. How much are Wild Bristle Matrons? 78C. So like half a div. Maybe a little bit more than half a div, 0.6 of a div. Because this has a 3 suffixes already, if we use Wild Bristle Matron, there's only one prefix meta modifier. So this Wild Bristle Matron is essentially like 0.6 of a div, and it guarantees us the 2 div craft, which is suffixes cannot be changed, which is why you use Wild Bristle Matron if you have your suffixes filled. We unfortunately don't do any damage, so because we are on our 0 to mirror account, which has like 20C of gear. Okay, so as you see here, suffixes cannot be changed. That is guaranteed outcome. That is going to be the cornerstone for a lot of these crafts. Okay, so now the option is we can go either defense or we can go attacks. I mean, we could just go lightning and get guaranteed lightning damage, right? Yeah, I don't hate that. Some guaranteed lightning damage on our ring. So we come to our Horrorcraft station. We go lightning, reforge lightning. It guarantees us flat lightning damage, right? So tier 6 flat lightning, that's kind of bad. So what we can then do is we can just resend it. I think it's fine. Like lightning damage, it's not great. But this is like kind of a cheap self-craft. We're going to try and just keep it as cheap as possible. So at this point, we paid 1 div plus 0.6 of a div for the Wild Bristle Matron. And then we're going to pay a little bit more now for a Crusader Exalt. 165x, so that's like a little bit more than a div. And then all we do is we just slam a Crusader Exalt on here. We hit tier 3 spell damage. That's fine. Like not the burst thing, not the best thing ever. And then we just craft on mana cost here. Probably going to want 7. And there we go. We're done. So this is around 2.75 div to get this ring. And as you can see, we have pretty good stats on here. We have tier 1 int, tier 1 lightning, endurance charges, spell damage, lightning damage. We have Crusader influence for our Bound by Destiny later, and also non-channeling rings. Oh, it doesn't have Crusader influence. So something like this, Crusader influence with tier 1 int. Yeah, there aren't really many on the market, but this is kind of like the rings that we want for our build because we want the Crusader influence and we also want, you know, all the good prefixes with the endurance charges, all that shit. I'm not sure how much this is worth. This is mostly for the self-craft because these specific sets of stats are not readily available on trade. So I highly recommend that you self-craft these if you're going to do that. But that's pretty much the ring craft from start to finish. Maybe not a good profit craft because people have to be looking specifically for these stats, and the only people who really specifically want these stats right now are people using my build. Going on to the next thing, which is boots. These are really, really easy to do. So here, all we do is we just int spam these. So we just int essence spam these until we have good suffixes, really. Mostly it's going to be like double resistance. And if you get like one good resistance, like here, we have really good resistance. So what we can just do is we can just exalt it on like the last one. Boo. Try and remove it. Didn't get it. That's fine. Like here we have, you know, tier 3 res. So we might as well just YOLO a annul. These are super cheap. Why not go for it? We didn't hit. That's fine. Okay, what we can do here is just put on a lesser Eldritch Icor, which just makes it so that our Eldritch Exalts only focus the suffixes. And then we send it. Didn't hit. Annul. We got the annul. Didn't hit. Boo. Reset. We can probably go here. Yeah, so tier 3, tier 4. I think this is perfectly acceptable as a, what would you call it? As a settle. How many essences did we spend? We started at the 100. We only spent 29 essences. So 29 spite essences for tier 3, tier 4 res. Okay. And then all we do here, we Wild Bristle Matron. So this is going to be another 80C. Wild Bristle Matron gives us guaranteed lock suffixes, right? For like a third of the cost, sometimes even less. Okay. Cool. We have our suffixes done here. This is quite the VCRA fight. We have our suffixes done. Then we just have to Veiled Chaos one time. Pray we don't fill. We did not fail, and we got a suffix. So now what we want on the boots are pretty much just a MS unveil. So we come here, take a look at the unveils. So the unveils that we want are these: movement speed, movement speed, movement speed. So if we block life, then we block these two and we block this one. So we're guaranteed to get one speed roll if we block life. So we block life here, we unveil. And cool. We have 29% movement speed, 100% chance to avoid being chilled. I think ideally we want either onslaught or the haven't been hit, but this is just a settle and we are done. Again, we spent 29 spite essences. So these are like 180C, 70C for the fracture, and then 80C for wild bristle matron, 20C for veiled chaos, equals to 350C for total. And the total ends up looking like this. We have tier 1 int, double res, some sort of veiled movement speed. And then what we do next is just craft on energy shield. Again, we're probably gonna want like 70% or above. 71% is good enough. And then boom, we have pretty solid boots that are 250 plus ES, good res, good MS, and then int. So these are worth like 5, maybe 6 div, and that's all there really is to it. Boots are incredibly simple to do, but again, it's always easier just to buy it yourself. It costs you like an extra 1 div to buy it yourself. I think it's worth it. Okay, something like this, 20C. Okay, here we go. Finally. Is this box? Not the fucking box thing, man. Okay. So synthesis belt, synth base equals, what was this? 30C we just paid? And then we're just tormenting it. And if we settle on non 59% avoid shock, it needs to be like really good resistances to make it worth diving. Awesome. This is perfect. I think we only use 40 deafening essence of torments here to get to this spot. We have above 59% avoid shock, 2 reses that are good. Now all we need to do is probably just wild bristle matron. Wild bristle matron for this. Okay, and then all we do now is reforge attack. Okay, tier 3 wed, good enough. And then we just like, what do? We just throw on like mana here or some shit, throw on life. So we don't care about life. And then we can exalt slam. Flask recovery rate, bedge, and then we just do energy shield, right? Something like that. And that's the belt complete. We have avoid shock. We only really need 59. Some sort of wed. Synth base. Yeah, I mean, it's just really good. What we can do now is like our synth base is kind of low, right? It's only 13%. So we can just use blessed orbs to get it up. Okay, now it's max roll. But that's pretty much it for the belt. It's really straightforward, really easy to do. This cost us what, like synth base 40 torment equals like, let's just call it 65C. Like 4 exalt orbs, 40C, and then wild bristle matron, 80C. So total cost equals, it's 205C, right? It's incredibly cheap to do. Less than 2 div. Catalyst, you can catalyst it. So very, very nice. Solid belt. Maybe we could sell this shit for like 5 div or something. I got no clue. That's all there really is to the belt. So I think we just want to zeal spam these. So let's just grab some, right? Or tier 1 int. Open suffix. Ooh, here's tier 1 int. Wow. And we got the 1 and 3 annul as well. So all we do here is suffix can't be changed. Dagger Moon, thank you for the prime, man. Veiled chaos, veiled suffix. Wow, we got it on our first try. Jesus Christ. Okay, Prage attack speed. Fuck, we didn't get it. Not much we can do there. Oh my god, we won the 1 and 3 again. Suffix can't be changed. Failed exalt. We got the suffix modifier again. Attack speed while focused. Boom. That's perfect. All we need to do now is using Eldritch Currency, a good hybrid prefix roll, and then we could just craft on percentage ES. Can't hit the triple. I got a triple suffix. Wait, what are you recomming? So here, all we're gonna need to do is get some Eldritch Currencies. We use a red Eldritch prefix here, which then allows us to use our Eldritch Currency on the gloves to only add or remove prefixes, right? And then here, all we do is we probably want to block something here. I'm not sure what exactly the block is, probably life. It's either life or mana, right? It's mana. So then we just want to do mana. What is this? 34. So you do something like 34M. So then you can just do this. Add the lowest weighted mod. Eldritch Exalt. We hit life. That's unfortunate. Remove mod. We should get rid of these annulments from our inventory. Remove mod. 34 rem. So we remove the mod. And then now we can just annul off the life. And then we add the mod back. Exalt. We keep doing this until we hit something acceptable. The acceptable rolls here are going to probably be like tier 2 or above, or tier 3 or above hybrid ES. No, it's probably tier 2 or above hybrid ES, and then like tier 3 or above percentage ES, something like that. But that's kind of what I'm going for now. Or you can go for like tier 1 flat damage. I think that's also acceptable. Tier 1 max ES. I mean, that's probably good enough, right? Obviously, I think you want the percentage ES here, but I think it's okay to settle here because now we can just go energy shield percentage here and then roll it until we get like, I would say like 72 or above. Maybe 71 is fine too. 71's fine. We're done now. It costs us around 13 Eldritch Annul plus 13 Exalts. So this is roughly, I think it's 26 for Annul. So this is like 3.5 div. But now we have gloves that are pretty solid. I mean, worth around 20 div. Not bad at all. We got a little bit lucky. I would say the average cost for us to do this, 2 div base, 2 veils, so that's 4 div. Maybe let's call this 5 div. I mean, it was just 4 div. We got really lucky on this part. This would probably cost you on average, like, I would say 7 or 8. So that brings us to like 9 div. This part costs you another 3.5. So on average, it's going to cost you like 11, 12 div in order to get these gloves. Yeah, I think that's totally fair considering that we can perhaps sell them for like 20 div. But that's pretty much the whole process for the gloves. The only thing that you could do on top of this would be if you want better gloves than this, you would just use 25% quality gloves bases, which are going to be like 5, 6 div each. If you use better glove bases, then what you do is you're probably going to want better implicits. So you probably want to settle on like tier 1 percentage ES. And then like if you want to go worse, you can just obviously do like lower int rolls, like tier 2 int you could settle on in order to get the zeals faster. And you could also just you don't even have to do the Eldritch Currencies at all, right? You could just straight up, once you finish the suffixes, you can just do the crafted ES, and that's totally acceptable as well. So let's do 20 div. Cool. So that's the gloves done. What else do we have? We can do the helmet now. So the helmet, I think you're just supposed to buy this shit. Let me see. You're genuinely probably better off buying this. Maybe 400 ES. I mean, still, it's like 3 div. The only time you'd really want to craft your own helmet is if you are going to try and craft a Crusader influenced elevated int helmet, which are kind of expensive and tedious to do. Maybe I can show you guys how to do that, but it's really annoying. So you need to go Hunter plus Crusader base. Now you don't need to go Crusader, but you really want to go Crusader because Bound by Destiny. Yeah, these are like 7 div for the base. How much are Awakener orbs? 3.5 div. Oh wait, I'm going to show you guys how to do this way cheaper. So we're going to go Lich's Circlet, 25% quality, no fracture. Eye level 84 is acceptable, or do you need eye level 85? You actually don't need any eye levels. Maybe 84 just for resistances. Because you don't actually need the int, right? Because you're just going to be fight spamming it. So what if we go like 26 then? How much does 26 cost? Let's just go 25, man. 25, 26, no diff. And 25 is like 1/3 of the cost, right? 30C to buy these 25% base. And then Exalted. Oh, Shaper Exalted Orb, 23 Chaos. Okay, so all we're going to do here is Shaper Exalt this. Okay, and then now we're going to reforge the Influence. I think either Hunter or Crusader is fine. Less than 20 C per attempt, so it's not expensive by any means. Okay, so this is Hunter, I believe. And then all we want now is a Crusader helmet. Doesn't matter what kind, I believe. Crusader helmet, even cheaper, 1C. Okay. Awakener Orb. 453. So all we do is Awakener Orb this onto this. Awesome. And then now we have this double influenced Hunter Lich Circlet thing that theoretically should cost 7 div, but only costs us like 4 div to craft, right? And now we can just craft onto this helmet. And what we just need to do now is essence spam for this influenced mod. I mean, this is the expensive part. It's going to cost you quite a bit of currency to get the suffixes. So we have, oh, this is actually really good. Unfortunately, we have to win 2 elevations in order to hit this. I think only if you have one really good third suffix here, like tier 1 fire res, it's acceptable to go for the double elevation. The way this works is this Hunter mod, increase int, we can increase it by winning a 50-50 dominance by sacrificing one other influence mod. But it's only worth it to do this twice if you have a really good other like third suffix, I would say. If I try and use this now, it won't work because, well, obviously the suffixes can't be changed, but because we don't have 2 influence mods on here. But there's one really easy way to fix that. With Crusader, if I reforge lightning, a lightning prefix, or with Hunter, I can get a lightning prefix. And then there are no other normal lightning prefixes here. So we are guaranteed to get 1 influence mod. So we have lightning skills, spell skills here. And then we also have our elevated int. So we just Orb of Dominance here. And we lost it. That is going to happen. That is why this craft is so tedious. Because you're going to have to not just find the right mod, you're going to have to win a 50-50. But once you win the 50-50, you're pretty much done. That's not even true. You're very close to being done. That is the idea here. I have lost that 50-50 like 1 more billion times. Okay. This is actually really good. Okay. So we hit tier 1 finally. What we want to do now is probably just like reforge a resistance as a suffix, right? So we go fire. Fire with no fill is what we want. Oof, we kind of rolled shitter fire res here, but like, I think we just have to take that. That's kind of unfortunate. It hurts our margin a little bit, but what can you do? Throw 1 Exalt Slam on here, block mana in case we can just get a good roll. Like, we can just get a influence mod here. We didn't get it, that's fine. We just remove. Okay, Wild Bristle Matron again. Fight the Uber Elder beast bosses here. Okay, now we just what? Reforge for, I think reforge lightning. It doesn't matter, right? We can't get a resistance anymore. We just reforge lightning or whatever's the cheapest. I think fire is the cheapest. And we're guaranteed to get a Hunter fire mod, I'm pretty sure here. Fire damage to spell skills. Okay, no fill as well. That's really nice. We just need to win a 50-50. I have not won one of these in like 7 attempts. If we miss this one, it might just be a go next angle. Wow, we actually hit the elevation. Lord bless us. Now, because we have influence mods, we can't actually Eldritch Currency to get our prefixes. What we need to do is just keep on Wild Bristle Matrixing and then Reforging Defense for 1 good mod, and then we craft on the other one. That's all we can really do here. And yes, there's a chance that we fill. If we fill, we are incredibly sad. Oh my god, there's a chance that we just die too. Oh wait, and then you just kind of repeat this process until, you know, you have 1 good defense modifier. If you die, you lose the bristle, you do. And you really don't want to fill. We got literally 4 energy shield. 4 energy shield. I repeat, we have 4 energy shield here. All right, come back to the Uber Elder boss. Wild Bristle Matron. This is our I think our fourth one of the craft. These are around 0.6 of a div each, so they're really cheap. We don't really feel too bad about using these just because they're so cheap, right? And we just keep rerolling this. It's a 1 in 12 to fill, which would be fucking devastating. But what can you do? Oh! Awesome. We hit tier 1 percentage ES. That's perfect. We would probably sell on like tier 3 or tier 2 even. And then now we just craft on max ES. Probably want like exactly 45. 44, good enough, right? And then now we are Bing Chiling. So now we have elevated. I mean, the 15 fucking res doesn't really matter. This shit. Yeah, looking like 35 div maybe. Let's take a look here. Nah, probably like a little bit less. This guy's got, I mean, ours is like a lot more ES, a lot less res, so it depends on what they want. But maybe we could sell it for like 40 as well. 35 is probably a little bit more realistic, but that's the whole craft right there. 35 div. That cost us, double influence base with qual was 3.5 div. Using Awakener Orb, Shenan's. Let's call it 4 div, just to be conservative. And then we used, I think, 350 spites, which is a lot. That's like 2k chaos, which is like 15 div. And then we used 2 doms, which is equal to 6 div. 5 wild bristle matrons. Let's just be conservative. I think it was 4. But let's just say 5 just to be safe, which is roughly 2.5 div. So total cost 27.5 div. That's pretty much all there is to it. On how you self-craft everything, I mean, the helmet I would recommend that you buy, unless you want the double elevated one for the Crusader. This is like giga expensive stuff that you don't need to do, but you can. Everything else is incredibly cheap to craft. The gloves, we got lucky on this. We spent like 4 or 5 div. Average cost was probably like 7 or 8. The boots, we spent like 3, super cheap. Ring, we spent 3. Double elevated helmet, we spent 28. Synth belt, it only cost us 205C. Like, it's just so cheap to craft all this stuff, and I hope that helps you guys.